Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Green. You're tuning in to AMTV Alternative Media Television. It is of course Friday, June 27th, 2014, and I want to weigh into this wider immigration scandal that has really blown up in the faces of Americans and has been really taken advantage of by the mainstream and alternative press here in recent days and over the past week or two. Now a new escalation with a Mexican military chopper crossing into the United States and firing two shots at border agents, immigration activists, to storm Congress. Fortunately, nobody was hurt. But again, this is raising tensions to an unfolding and really a continuous crisis that has been occurring in the United States for some time. And part of me, quite frankly, doesn't even understand the debate of immigration. I mean, I hear people debate things like the DREAM Act and that these people should be allowed to stay in our country, and I don't even personally understand the argument. It's illegal to cross the United States and just claim residency. It's illegal. For example, if you or I tried to step into Russia or walk across their border, they would shoot at us. They would point their guns at us and start unloading at you. Yet here in the United States, we just allow hundreds of thousands of people to cross our borders. And then our president goes as far as to want to keep them here. You know, if these people are so pro-immigration, I think that they should open up their homes in the United States of America and have all of these diseased individuals that are being held in cages like animals right now with infestations of scabies at their house, at the White House, at Mark Zuckerberg's house, at their many houses that they have all across the United States of America. Here's the report. Mexican military chopper crosses into the United States, shoots at border agents. Again, all of this also a part of escalating the tensions. To create this rhetoric on Capitol Hill, to get the American people paying attention to this while Obama pushes scandal after scandal. You know, the trading of Bo Bergdahl and 5 Taliban terrorists without alerting Congress, which is an impeachable offense, whether or not it was Benghazi Gate, the IRS, or anything else. All of this being pushed by the mainstream media and the alternative press at the moment. Nancy Pelosi to travel to the border to meet with detained minors to see what these facilities along Texas actually look like. Again, the conditions, really a humanitarian crisis, and that part of it, very, very sad. The men, women, and children, a lot of children, 3/4 of them coming from Central America. One of the reasons why they say that we can't send them back right away, and of course all of this backlogging at our border. Even the First Lady of Honduras, where a great portion of Central American children have been pouring in by the thousands, are set to tour the South Texas immigration shelters located on our borders here in the United States of America. I pulled a map. You can see here Central America and Honduras, where this First Lady is coming from, and how they are pouring in through Mexico, then crossing the Rio Grande, some by jet ski, into the United States, whether or not this is the Texas border or this is here locally in Phoenix in Arizona. You can see here there was an article, a border resident, Nancy Pelosi should visit my ranch. She says she has dozens of illegals showing up at her property, at her house. She's got dogs, some of them gang members, that are held up in trees as they're trying to cross her property, which is some odd 60 miles north of the border, just showing up in droves. Again, a humanitarian crisis. The White House threatening in the meantime, and the President of the United States threatening executive action. He says, I'm not going to wait for Congress. I'm not going to sit around and wait to write laws. I'm just going to do them myself. Obama again threatening and actually completing executive action after executive action while during his stay at the White House, whether or not this was the illegal invasion of Libya and the implicit murder of Muammar Gaddafi, bypassing Congress. Example after example. Bo Bergdahl, etc., etc. Here we have a very good article that I would encourage you to read. The DREAM Act I saw it sure doesn't look like Ellis Island, showing just the horrible, horrific conditions of children. You have a little boy here drinking what appears to be orange juice, smelling of urine, and just dirty bodies that haven't bathed. Some of the legs of little girls caked in mud from their crossing of the Rio Grande not too long ago. And you can see just some of the photos of the facility. These people held in cages like animals. And again, this part of it is just a humanitarian crisis, spreading diseases, and of course, bringing this all to the United States of America. While elitists in Washington, D.C., and in corporate America, in the technology front, people like Mark Zuckerberg, promoting the DREAM Act and promoting this illegal immigration. Well, I say all these immigrants should stay at these people's houses. They shouldn't mind, considering they're coming in by the boatloads, by the thousands, into our country and threatening our stability here in the United States of America. Also, for those of you that aren't aware, the DREAM Act, I looked it up, Wikipedia, just to get a formal definition, says the bill would provide conditional permanent residency to certain immigrants of good moral character, I don't know what that means, who graduate from U.S. high schools, arrive in the United States as minors, and live in the country continuously for at least 5 years prior to the bill's enactment. If they were to complete 2 years in the military or 2 years at a 4-year institution of higher learning. Again, some of us asking, what is this really about? Is this about re-education of our society, of a lower class rung of American citizens that can be propagandized into the socialist state that has become the United States of America under the rule of authoritarian figures like the President of the United States, Barack Obama? Again, if they're to complete 2 years in the military or 2 years at a 4-year institution through aggressive re-education, what they like to call higher learning, then they're free to stay. That's what Obama's pushing. That's what Mark Zuckerberg is pushing. Again, never really understood it. Mark Zuckerberg says that immigration reform, one of the biggest civil rights issues of our time. Maybe he's going to hire all the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants as programmers for his company Facebook, saying that and citing, he's been on Capitol Hill before, it's the biggest civil rights issue of our time. Yeah, that's right. We should allow illegal aliens to just storm our country. And then the rest of us should pay for them. We should just grant them free citizenship. Again, if Mark Zuckerberg tried to cross the border of Uruguay or Russia or any other country in the world, he would be shot at with guns. They would aim guns at him crossing over to their territory, but he wants to open up our borders, allegedly, so I guess he can hire them to work for his failing company, Facebook. He's got a large campaign for this at forward.us saying, fight for immigration reform today. Give us your email address and support illegal immigration. I wonder if he has the support of all the illegals that are already here. I'm sure he probably does. You can see his movement for immigration reform here laid out in a nice display, and all of the New World Order candidates and influencers that support the cause. Mark Zuckerberg here from Facebook, of course. Many other executives from companies like LinkedIn and Dropbox also support the bill. And of course, New World Order favorite, Bill Gates, chairman of Microsoft and co-chair of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. We should drop all of these thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands, if not more, of illegal, diseased, scabies-ridden immigrants at these people's houses. I think Bill Gates should host these people at his residence, as well as Mark Zuckerberg. Just let them come in by the boatload, Mark. They can play video games and they can friend request at your house. How does that sound? We've got a funny commercial that Zuckerberg put out through his organization forward.us, again promoting illegals to come illegally to the United States through the DREAM Act, which doesn't look like much of a dream, really just looks like a re-education camp to me. Again, you can look this up for yourself, but the term re-education camp was used to refer to prison camps operated by the People's Republic of China during the Cultural Revolution. It was also used, and it was the official title given to the prison camps operated by the government of Vietnam following the end of the Vietnam War. In such re-education camps, the government imprisoned several 100,000 former military officers and government workers from the former government of South Vietnam. Re-education, as it was implemented in Vietnam, was seen as both of a means of revenge and as a sophisticated technique of repression and indoctrination, which developed for several years in the North and was extended to the following the 1975 fall of Saigon. An estimated 1 to 2.5 million people were imprisoned with no formal charges or trials. According to the published academic studies in the United States and Europe, 165,000 people died in the Socialist Republic of Vietnam's re-education camps. Now, the theory behind these camps, again, the underlying theory is that such camps is the Maoist theory. You remember Mao killed a lot of people, of reforming counter-revolutionaries into socialist citizens by re-education through labor. It sounds familiar, doesn't it? Kind of sounds like Obama in the DREAM Act. The theory, the Maoist, remember Mao, a dictator? The theory killed a lot of people of reforming counter-revolutionaries into socialist citizens by aggressive re-education through labor. Exactly what's occurring right now. Again, what is this DREAM Act really about, Obama? Is this really about a humanitarian crisis? Is this about people? Or is this about aggressive re-education of a lower rung of our society here in America into socialist citizens by re-education through labor? Seems to make sense to me. What do you think? Is this the re-education of America? Is this the planned influx of a lower diseased rung of society that, by the way, won't be staying at the White House anytime soon, or Nancy Pelosi's residence, or Bill Gates, or Mark Zuckerberg, but they want you, the little guy, the rest of America, to house these people and to push forward through Forward Us, U.S., immigration reform for illegals here in the United States of America. Yeah, that's right. You pay for it, America. Try to step into Russia. Try to move across the border of Uruguay. You'll be shot at. But here in the United States, we've got open arms. Yeah, that's right. Just bring them over, re-educate them, and let's transform America entirely. The socialist, fascist dictatorship that it is today. I'm Christopher Green. Get it out everywhere. Make it viral. Hard-hitting it in your face. And click the link below to support our sponsor.